Yes, it's another time for another dose of sports business gist, sport business program on this channel. My name is Jide Olano. Welcome to Sport Exchange. On today's show, we will be taking you through news that affects the Belgian league, as well as there is a merger in the offing. Not forgetting that there is a world-class basketball academy in Nigeria, and not only that, Basketball Africa League there will be a jump ball on May the 16th. We are looking forward to that. Okay, these are some of the news that you will be listening to, okay, that I'm bringing to you on today's show. Don't worry, and don't forget that you can keep the conversation going as far as the show is concerned too on our social media handles at Sport Exchange 24 on Twitter, Sport Exchange 24 on Facebook, and for those who love to watch a repeat of this program on our YouTube channel is TV360 Nigeria on our YouTube channel. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, your Soaraway show begins.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. Belgium's leading football clubs have supported a proposal to merge their league with the Netherlands. The General Assembly voted unanimously in favor for a possible cross-border Benelux League. Last year, the Belgian Pro League was the first major European competition to be cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now in Nigeria. Nigeria can also boast of a world-class basketball academy as the Organized Basketball Network Academy opens in Lagos. The NBA accredited academy offers the highest level of quality basketball education and the training of talents. Speaking with journalists at the official opening of the OBN Hoop Center in Lagos, Nigeria, the founder, Obida Ekeze, a former NBA star, says it is a center where dreams will be made.
For them to showcase their talents. This is a wonderful facility with all the support they can have to the coaches, fitness center, medical center. So everything is here for them to develop their talent. All we're asking for them is to give their best effort, dedicate to the game, and the game can really change their lives and their family's life. So it's a massive opportunity for them.
Yes. United States-China tension is spilling into sports as there are reports the U.S. is considering a boycott of the 2022 Beijing Olympics. The potential boycott of the Winter Games could be in concert with other countries, although it is not immediately clear how the country is willing to go just to make a point about what it terms as aggression and question in the way China infringes on human rights in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Xinjiang, and Tibet. And finally, NBA team, the Sacramento Kings, is toying with the idea of paying its players in Bitcoin, as it went further to incorporate Bitcoin into their business practices, and they could be trendsetters in how they use it. In 2014, the Kings became the first professional sports team to accept Bitcoin as payment at their arena. During a clubhouse forum, the chairman, CEO, and governor of the Kings, Vivek Ranadive, says, and I quote, "I am going to offer everyone in the Kings organization. They can get paid as much as their salary in Bitcoin as much as they want, including the players." End quote. However, NBA teams are currently prohibited from paying players in Bitcoin or any method other than cash via live check or direct deposits, which is the collective bargaining agreement between players and the league. Yes, that's it. And before we go on this break, The Basketball Africa League is back. Yes, believe it. The Chief Executive Officer of the Basketball Africa League, Amadou Gallo-Fall, has told the media that come what may, on May the 16th, the league will be having its jumbo. Congratulations, Amadou. So let's check out what Amadou Gallo-Fall has got to say about this.
Hello from Dakar, Senegal, to all basketball fans in Africa and across the world. Hope you and your loved ones are keeping safe. Since we decided to postpone the inaugural season of the BAL due to the pandemic, we spent a lot of time looking at best scenarios that would allow us to launch the league while keeping everyone safe. Today, I am excited to announce that the inaugural season of the BAL will tip off on May 16th with the final game on May 30th. 12 teams from 12 different African countries, 26 games, all in one location, the world-class Kigali Arena in Kigali, Rwanda. Our goal is to build a top-flight competition that will reflect the continent's talent, passion, and love for the game of basketball. With our partner FIBA, we created the Basketball Africa League to provide a platform for elite players from across the continent to showcase their talent at home and inspire more young boys and girls to play the game. See you all in May, and game on.
Yes, game on. I can't wait for that. I hope you can't as well. Okay, so that's it. We're going to short break it. When we come back, it will be time for the dugout segment.
Fantastically finished.
All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Exchange, and now we are in the dugout segment. Yes, we will be talking about sports science. We will be talking about science, technology, and data, how it affects sports. And joining me all the way from Italy is Michele Cristiani. He is, by the way, the Chief Executive Officer of Six, based in Italy. And Michele, how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. In Italy, things are going a little better, luckily.
Wow.
For the COVID.
Yes,
Yeah.
Good to hear that. Things are getting better. I want to also see people moving around. I want to see people travel freely again. I can't wait.
Yeah, and playing football also.
Exactly. I can wait. Yep. Michele, let's talk. Today we're talking about science, technology, and data, how it affects sports. And if I may ask, what's the meaning of SICS? SICS. What's that?
It's just an acronym. It is an acronym related to sport interface consultancy and solutions.
Oh, well, maybe that's why we're talking about solutions today, because science, technology, and data is what the focus will be on this segment. What is the place of science and technology in sports today?
For sure, it has extremely quickly increased the role of the sport, of the technology and science. When we started our activity, it was almost 20 years ago, and we met the great manager in the football. For example, I remember the first time I met Arrigo Sacchi, it was more than 20 years ago, 1994. And when we asked him if he was interested to look at some statistics that we produced for the Italian national team, he didn't understand really what we were trying to tell him, because, more than 25 years ago, data were not used in football. He understood very quickly, and he started using a lot of the data to keep decision. It is just an example of how in the beginning no one understood how the computer, how science, how technology, how data could help the sport. Now I would say that everyone is using data, technology, science in sport, mainly for football, where it is a great tool to improve the performance of the player and of the teams.
Okay. Yeah, you just said it helps science, data helps to science and data. They help to improve the performance of players. Then that brings me to the next question. Why is performance analysis critical in football as well as sports today?
Is critical because it is the base for. When I speak, when I talk with the physical trainer, with the coach, they often tell me, explaining what they do. For example, with the data that they measure during the games, they use all the data collected during the games, performance data, particularly, to plan all the training session during the week. If I don't know what is the performance produced by each player during one game, they cannot understand if he was too much if he worked too much and if he is under stress, or if he didn't work enough during the game. And then they use the data that they collect to plan all the activity that is done during the weekly training sessions. And the performance are important, and it is important to measure them. If you don't measure them, you can only evaluate the performance by eye, but it's almost impossible doing that.
Good. So for you, I know that means that you are doing so much by finding, building solutions for football as vis-a-vis sports generally. Then how are you going about this? Looking at Six now, that is your company. How are you making sure that your discoveries or your innovations are adding to the field of knowledge in football or sports?
We have always tried to find, to develop by ourselves, or to find the better solution that could provide an advantage to our customer. When I mean better solution, I mean the cutting edge technologies, what could be important and available to provide some more information, some more tools to our customer. And then again, for some situation, we develop internally the technology, the software, the hardware. In our situation, we distribute the software and the hardware provided by someone else. Now, obviously, for example, one cutting-edge technology is the artificial intelligence. Much of the technology is related to the machine learning, to the deep learning algorithm, and these, I would say, are the most interesting technology that we are investing a lot in research and in development in the last, I would say, couple of years.
Okay. So, and from some of these things, what are the challenges that you've seen, especially when you're trying to develop some of this innovation or some of this technology? What are those challenges, especially when you have to consider different environments?
You mean different sports?
Yeah, maybe different sports. When you have to consider different sports, what are the challenges?
I would say that the first challenge is to really understand if technology can be useful. I mean, it's I think it's correct to say that every technology can be useful for every sport. I make you an example. In the last, let's say, couple of years, much talks are done regarding the virtual reality, for example. And virtual reality is absolutely interesting, is a technology in general interesting. it has been applied, for example, to create some automatism in the movement of a player, or, for example, in the rehabilitation process. And for those kind of things, it is extremely interesting. What has to be really understood is the possibility to get a real benefit applying one specific technology. Technology by itself is a tool. If a tool can be useful or not has to be discovered, and then the challenge is often to understand how to use a specific technology in the specific sport.
Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you, I've seen that most of your clientele base is, if I might be wrong, it's mostly in Italy. Do you have, are you expanding, or maybe do you have people that you consult or consult you from outside Italy?
Yeah, until 6 months ago, we have been, I would say, 90% based in Italy. We didn't look for expansion abroad. In the last 6 months, considering the situation of the COVID, and considering that it is something like a paradoxal, for us it was easier to talk with the people using the, like we are doing now, the social media, the Zoom, all the video platform around the world than meeting the people like we did before. And then this speed up this process was quickly pushed by the possibility to talk with people around the world and to try to open new market. In the last 6 months, we have signed an agreement with more than 40 countries, 40 countries around the world, and now we have distributors in China, in Latin America, in USA, in Canada, in I would say in all the world. And everything was done in 6 months. We decided to grow instead of buying new companies, like some companies decide to do. Instead of doing this, we prefer to grow, signing agreement with high quality local partners that could be able to introduce us in the professional market and in the sport club in the specific countries.
Okay. Now, I know that you have solution. In fact, I just look at your profile now, and I've seen that that it's not even about sports alone. You also look at media. You look at the journalists. You also have some, of course, because that's your forte, data science. What will you recommend for a sports business journalist like me when I come for solution, a bespoke solution? What would you recommend?
I would say that the difference between, from my point of view, it's a personal opinion, the difference between a good sport journalist and, let's say, a traditional one is the capability and the possibility to understand the data and to understand which data could be interesting for your customer, for your audience. I mean, there are huge amount of data to be seen. Not everything is interesting, but some data helps understanding better the sport, helps explaining better what it happens, helps going out from the basic discussion on the, I don't know, the specific player and going to discussion specific on how the team plays, which is the tactics they use, how the coach think that his team should perform. I mean, a journalist, I think a modern journalist should be able to manage the data. I don't say like a sports scientist, but for sure the data are your food, and I think you know better than me.
All right. Okay. Where do you, talking data, where do you see take data taking football? Because I know that you guys, one of your focus is, for example, the Serie A and the rest of the football leagues. Where do you see data taking the business of football to?
I think that, in this time there are many, let's say, data addicted that they think that data will substitute in some way the coaches, the manager of a team, because they say if everything will be automized, what will be the role of a coach? Everything will be done by the data, by the computer. I think this is a stupid position. From my point of view, from my opinion, the data has to be a tool, has to be something that can help the man, the coach, the assistant coach, to take decision. And they will be not decision based only on the eye, on the look, on what they see, but based on what they measure. I think I often say when I speak about these kind of things that who would be the surgeon, for example, that would make an operation without having the blood tests? Who would be the driver of a plane that would drive a plane without the data provided by the instrument? From my point of view, it is not something surprisingly using the data in sport. It's surprisingly trying to make sport without data. Data are a fundamental tool in sport. One coach and one physical trainer that does not use data is, let's say, someone that did not understand what he could do and what he could, how he could work.
All right. Finally, before I let you go, let me ask you, any plans? Because we play also, we play good football. We have clubs, football clubs, and maybe national teams as well as clubs on the continent of Africa. So what is your plan? What is SIX doing for this continent of Africa as regards helping with data and working with some of the federations or the clubs?
Honestly, as I told you before, we started this activity, this international activity, only last 6 months. At the moment, we are talking with many clubs, many federations, many leagues, and we are trying to push the knowledge and the usage of the tools. If you think one problem is the organization of the clubs. I give you an example, a very quick example. In Italy, let's say that, for example, situation is, I would say, quite good. But, for example, the normal Serie A staff, the staff working for a professional club, uses one match analyst, 1 or 2 match analysts. In UK, for example, one normal match analyst area has at least 4 or 5 people. Obviously, if you have the people that can work collecting data, analyzing video, applying the technology, you can grow. If you don't have enough people in your staff, it's difficult to grow. And I think that your continent has still this I don't want to say problem, but this thing that could be increased. More people, more organization, more logistics, more budget assigned not only to the player, but also to the technology, data, information, data scientists, and so on. This is the way in which I think African football can further grow.
All right. I must say thank you for this insight, Michel Cristiani, all the way from Italy. I really appreciate your time.
It was a pleasure meeting you, and a pleasure for everyone.
Hope we'll still once in a while or sometime again. I would love to have a conversation on some of those things again, some other time.
I'm here. It will be a pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much. All the best and stay safe.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, that's the CEO of Six Solution, a technology solution for sports company based in Italy. Michel Cristiani is my guest on the Dugout segment. Okay, we're going on a short break, and there is a collage of when the Super Eagles came back to Lagos. You know, after many years they were in Lagos. We had a collage of those exciting pictures for you. That is next. And when we come back after that, it will be time for me to say my bye-bye. Hopefully that is Nigeria's biggest football brand, the Super Eagles. Hopefully we can see them often in Lagos. Yeah, because Lagos is the place to be when you talk about football. Yes, it's time for me to go, but I won't go without telling you how to keep the conversation going as far as this program is concerned. Sport Exchange, yes, Sport Exchange 24. That's at Sport Exchange 24 on Twitter and Sport Exchange 24 on Facebook. And for those who still want to watch this program again, then you can go straight to our YouTube channel, TV360 Nigeria. That is where to be. On behalf of everyone that has made this program possible, my name is Jide Olaniro, signing out.